everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making my family's favorite pot roast, so stay tuned for the recipe. So the first thing, I picked up my meat from the market. I got the boneless chuck roast and I got almost 4 pounds of it, and it was a really good price too. So I soak my meat in some salt water, give it a good rub with my hands just to clean it up a little bit. Once I've done that, I drain the water, pat my meat dry, and I begin to throw in my spices. Now here I have some Worcestershire sauce, my salt, my black pepper, some rosemary, onion powder, garlic powder, and some thyme. Or thyme, as somebody corrected in my last video. So I put a good amount of salt, about 2 or a tablespoon I would say, about 2 tablespoons of black pepper, some rosemary, maybe about a teaspoon, a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of thyme. And I make some holes, or I had a little trouble here opening up my thyme, but I make some holes with a knife into my meat so that when I put my Worcestershire sauce, it could soak in my meat really well. Once I've done this, I give this side a really good rub, and I do the same exact thing to the other side of my meat. I wrap this up and I put it into my refrigerator overnight. Now, if you don't have time to put it overnight, if you want to make this today, it's fine, but at least marinate your meat for a couple of hours, maybe like 3 to 4 hours. It gives it a really good flavor, an extra oomph. Now fast forwarding to the next morning, I have my meat here. It's about 11 o'clock right now, and the first thing I do, I take my meat out and I coat it with some flour. And this flour is going to be helping us to make the gravy that is going to be in our stew. Once meat is coated in flour, add some oil into your pot, and we're gonna start to brown the meat on each side. So 5 minutes on one side, 5 minutes on the other side. It might be a little different with you. Just check the bottom and see if it's brown before you flip it over. Here you see I'm flipping it over. This is what your meat should look like. Once you've done this step and the other side is brown as well, you add your beef stock, and I'm gonna be putting this entire bottle of the beef stock in. I also do add a little bit of water just until it covers my meat. Now close it, and it is 11:20 here. At about 2:20, which is 3 hours later, I'm gonna be adding my veggies and my potatoes. So here you see I am just slicing 5 of my potatoes. Once I've done this, I'm gonna put my potatoes in the water and just put them off to the side until I could add my vegetables. Here I continue chopping my celery. I just used 3 heads. And also guys, I forgot to mention, my meat is cooking on a very low heat. So maybe the lowest heat I have for about those 2 hours. So I chop my celery and I chop my 2 tomatoes here. And I put these off to the side. Now I have my garlic and my whole onion. And I'm gonna be dicing these up really well with this little kitchen gadget that I have here. I highly recommend you guys get this. I'll try to link it down below. It saves so much time. Now this is about 3 hours later. You can see the clock in the back. It says 1:50. I am sauteing my onions, my garlic, my celery. I'm gonna be throwing in some carrots in here as well. As you could see here, I'm just chopping up the carrots. I'm gonna saute these so I could throw it into my beef, and these are gonna help make the gravy of the beef as well, along with the flour. So once it's sauteed and the onions and the celery is a little transparent, you could throw it into your meat. And our meat smelled amazing. The whole house smelled so good, you guys. So toss this in. After you do that, toss in your potatoes, toss in some big carrots if you have any left over, and also toss in your 2 cut tomatoes and cover it up for another hour. Now this last hour, you guys, you want your heat to be on high. I know it sounds a little weird, but this is gonna help you to make the gravy of the meat, and it's gonna help your meat become more tender. And an hour later, there it is, guys. This is our finished pot roast. The beef stock and the flour and the veggies have gone to become a gravy, and the potatoes are so soft. This was my plate and it was delicious. I hope you guys try this at home. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. I would really appreciate it.